Yeah, I visited Santa Cruz once. It was like me and then like one other black person that I saw. I think she was mixed. Yeah. And that was kind of it the entire time I was there.
Less of a threat.
True story. True story. That's how Barack got in.
Right?
Yeah, true story. True story.
Yeah, he's black. But he's white too.
But his name is all black though. I will put that out there. Hey, his name is 100%
Barack.
Yeah. On paper, we know who he is.
We know.
We know
who you are.
Jonathan, we don't know.
Hey, man.
Barack, we know.
Who's got that on that resume?
True story. You can't run from that. Yeah, you can't run. You cannot play that to your advantage. There's no hiding behind that.
That is your ass.
Yeah, you didn't pass anything. you pass go and go right to black. That's where you end up.
Hey, right, go right to black.
Exactly. That's it.
Ain't no fading. There's no fade to black. You're right.
You go right
black.
to it. You're there. You're there.
Shit.
That's funny.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nothing is Absolute podcast. I'm Deji Stevon with my partner, my best friend, Stevon Lewis. Say what's up to the people, man.
I didn't know how far you're going to take this thing. I was waiting for you to like go through my whole bio or anything. So yeah, I'm Stevon Lewis, the co-host of this here podcast with my best friend Deji.
We're out here. Nothing is absolute. I'll do some intros and then we'll talk about kind of like why we're doing this.
For sure.
Right?
Hopefully I can remember why we're doing this in that time, but I'm with it.
Well, I'll intro Lou, Stevon, in a way that he's probably not used to being introduced.
Oh, shit.
He's probably used to people laying down accolades, but to me, more importantly, though, this is my best friend from 12 years old, and he's really my brother, and I mean that in a serious way, not like how people go, oh, hey brother or hey bro, like nothing like that. This is my blood brother and my spirit brother, and he's a super genuine person. He cares about people in a way that I've seen not in many people, that I haven't seen in many people. And he's since the time that we're like 12, 13, this guy's looked after people's well-being in a mental capacity that I didn't understand as a kid. And until we started to become adults and Stevon became a psych major and sought higher education, and then I could see that, wait, this guy's been a therapist and a counselor for the better part of our lives, and it's amazing to see him now starting a budding practice. Well, not even starting, your practice is thriving right now.
Oh, thank you.
As a marriage family therapist, I mean, you work with teens too, right?
Used to. I have like one or two teen clients, but not so much anymore.
Not so much. Okay. Yeah. You're working with the relationships though.
Absolutely.
Right?
Do a lot of couples therapy.
There it is. Couples therapy master right here. If you got some things going on, this is the guy that you need to holler at to help see those situations through. Or, even if, you're dating and it's not working out for you, this might be the guy to talk to. Not even might be. This is the guy to talk to.
There you go. I was hoping you were going to clean that up.
He'll get you right. Male or female, he will get you right. And sometimes we have some things, some hang-ups that sometimes the people close to us may not tell us that we need to fix. Stevon will tell you, not just tell you that you need to fix it, but he'll help you along the way of how to actually do it. So, so with no further ado, that's my boy.
I need like the bulls like bring out for like the doors come out like, hey, I'm coming out now, I'm in here. No, I didn't have any of the lights or anything, but this works. That was really good. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Wow, that's
absolute.
I did not write anything. I'm more of a planner. So if you guys don't know, Deji and I are similar and opposite all at the same time. I am a more by the books planner, strategic. Let's do it this way. And Deji's like, hey, let's jump in, and it's going to be okay. And that's not where I live, so this is totally kind of out of my comfort zone. My goal or my plan was to write down how I was going to introduce Deji to you all or to the public. And yeah, as I started thinking about it, because this is how I plan stuff out, I think about it in my head and before it makes it to paper. And yeah, I didn't know how to describe you. I was like, thinking, well, what word describes Deji? And there really is no word. I mean, that's the best thing I could think of was like enigma, but I felt like that wasn't positive. But you are kind of a mystery. I mean, you're like the most world-traveled person I know. You got like all sorts of education, college, academic, book smart stuff, and life education than probably anybody else I know. I was like, oh, he's an author. I was like, he started a nonprofit, probably got a for-profit, profit on profits. It's like, he's been absolutely a true brother. I have 2 biological sisters, but Deji's for sure been the brother, my mom didn't have, but we crossed paths and have been kind of tied at the hip ever since. And he's always been a great friend, super loyal. And anybody that knows him knows that he goes the extra mile for anybody that he cares about. So I've had to get on him over the years about not neglecting himself. This is the therapy I do with Deji. So if you don't know, if he's my friend. He gets free therapy from me all the time of like not neglecting yourself and going after your own needs, because he will help others become what they need to be, oftentimes putting himself second. So that's Deji in a nutshell. And who knows where this podcast is going to go, because Deji, again, is much more of a risk taker than myself. So this will be very interesting.
Hey, we're both steering this ship, man. So, you're I know you're uncomfortable, but
it's totally out of my element.
But there's nothing wrong with that,
Right.
It is true. I am at comfort in the flames, but there can be good things that come from it.
Right.
And, we're right here doing it together, which is most important to me. Nothing is absolute. Something that I say quite often, if I've spoken to you about, usually, I'll start here. Usually when I'm talking about something, maybe something I know about, maybe something I don't know about, maybe I'm thinking about something out loud, and we've had a conversation, or I'm talking to somebody about something, I will often end it with nothing is absolute, because essentially that's true. Nothing is absolute, right? And you don't know everything. We're all here consistently learning, or at least I think that we should be. Right? There's no infinite age where you, oh man, I just know all, I have all the knowledge.
No.
I have everything, right? To me, nothing is absolute. Yeah, you might know that today, or you think you might know that today.
There you go.
Or one of Stevon's favorite quotes, I don't know that for certain.
Hey, I don't. I don't know that for that. I don't know it for certain. It could be, maybe.
So that's why I want to call this podcast Nothing is Absolute, because we're going to talk about a lot of things and talk about a lot of interesting topics, social issues, politics, dating, whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, nothing is absolute. Take everything with a grain of salt, but take it. But take it.
Taste the booger flavor.
You know what I'm saying? Take it.
Take that. That's funny.
Yeah. But that's what nothing is absolute is for me, is that, it's at the end of the day, hey, look, this is what we know right now. Because I can't think of anything right now, but let's say medically, right? There was a point in time where, it was a rule that you had to have 3 square meals a day, or something like this, right?
Boom.
We know that's BS. That's marketing and promotion,
right?
For the food industry from the U.S. government.
Monsanto.
So there you go. Exactly. Boom.
Yeah.
We know that to be true.
Oh, we're probably going to get sued as a result of that.
Yeah. Just
seriously.
like that. You said our name. You're done.
Yeah, probably before we got off the ground. Like 12 minutes in, and you guys are done. Over. That was the extent of our podcast career.
this.
Well, hey, they got you. Bam, that's what you get.
Yeah,
should have read the contract, the fine print.
Shoot, also wanted to do this because there aren't too many awesome podcasts out there with two brothers who have as extensive of a background as we do, and two sort of, like Stevon said, similar perspectives, but also opposite perspectives on life and things. So I think that it's going to be a great podcast. It's going to be fun for you guys to listen to, and hopefully we'll piss off enough of you guys, and also make a lot of you guys laugh and enjoy the podcast, because I think there needs to be a healthy balance. And
of pissing off and making people enjoy.
Yes, exactly.
The yin and yang of it all.
Yeah, there's a guy named Chael Sonnen. If you don't watch MMA or UFC or whatever, you maybe don't know Chael Sonnen. But Chael Sonnen is this. I hate this guy, and I don't hate many people.
Well, that's true. That is true. That's why I was like, wow, this dude is hate. You love everybody. It takes you a while to hate somebody.
It really does. Well, this guy, he fought Anderson Silva, who's my favorite UFC fighter of all time. I'm gonna, if I ever have a son.
Did he beat him?
No.
So why do you hate him?
Well, check it out.
Okay.
He disrespected the guy on another level, man. He was talking trash the whole time, talking about his wife. Like, hey, yeah, I'll take, like
how
hey,
Trump did?
Miss Balboa, like Phoenix Lang. I mean, not Phoenix, but Clever Lang did. He's
reckless.
Hey, you want a real man? Like kind of like this.
No way, saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't you
dare.
dare.
With your wife at the barbecue. That's exactly what he said. Man. I was like,
he deserved to get his ass whooped.
Brazil and everything, man.
He was cultural on it.
Yeah, he was going all the way in.
Basically, he ran like the Republican primary.
Precisely.
Okay, gotcha.
He's a Trump supporter.
Well, I figured that much because that's his fucking mentor. Yeah. He did everything the same way that dude did. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. But this guy, man.
I don't like him either, and I don't even know who this guy is. I don't even watch that much MMA. I know maybe like 3 people, like Conor McGregor because he fought Mayweather.
Right, because he fought.
And did Mayweather do MMA? No, I'm just fucking with you. I know he didn't. But Silva, and then the one dude whose name I don't know, but he broke the other guy's arm. That happened.
That guy, Frank Mir.
Yeah, that dude is not a nice person. If you guys ever Google that, Frank Mir breaks somebody's arm. It's not cool. But also, the dude who got his arm broke should have tapped earlier, and so he deserved to get his arm broken. That's the most I know about MMA. That's my thoughts. Seriously. He should have tapped a long time ago. He deserved to get his arm broken. I felt bad for him, but then I was also like, that's what you get.
Hey, he's a purist.
Well, his arms, bro. His arms don't work anymore. I know that. Broken. Yeah, he is.
All right, so back to Chael. So I really don't like Chael. But this dude is so good at talking. I listen to his podcast. He's super good at it. Like he could be talking about something he doesn't even know about. And you know how I feel about ignorant people.
Well, yeah, absolutely I do.
And I'll be like, Chill, shut the fuck up. You don't even know. But I'm listening.
Yeah.
And I would be like, man, I don't mess with that at all.
Yeah.
But this dude is that good. He's that good.
Wow.
And then when he actually does know something, man, he's off the charts. But I just genuinely
in the event that he might actually have some knowledge about something, he's even better than when he doesn't know anything. Hey, you know what? I'm still not going to listen to his podcast.
Man, that dude is awesome. But Frank Mir, on the other hand,
he's got one too.
Yes. Apart from breaking arms,
shit, this dude is multi-talented. Man. Let's hear all about it. Not only will he break your arm, he will tell you how to fix that shit too. That's awesome.
But he's a jerk.
Well, yeah, because he breaks people's arms,
and he's terrible at podcasting. He's terrible at talking.
Well, who's going to stop him?
He's not that great. He comes off very arrogant. It's like,
what would you expect from a guy that will break your arm?
Right.
He's got to be an asshole.
It's like when you hear his voice, you can just, if you closed your eyes, you could just imagine someone with their nose in the air. Like
I'm doing it now.
Just the way he talks is just, it's one of these people that hold their vowels. Right?
Yeah.
When I went to Dana's office, it's
God.
Dude, can you please just go somewhere with this?
That dude, Frank Mir, it's kind of like that, though. I mean, that's how he is in general. I mean, the one time I saw that fight, when he broke his arm, thanks to you for showing me that.
Oh, absolutely.
I appreciate that because that's what I wanted to do in life. Like before I died, I wanted to make sure I saw somebody get their arm broken. What a douche!
I actually blindsided him with that. Just so you guys know.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I would have never watched it because that's not where I live. After that, he felt no remorse for that.
Oh no,
he didn't feel a bit of bad about that. Like in the when they raise your arms, you won the fight. Like the other dude can't raise anything because he's still on the ground with a broken arm. Mir was talking like, "Yo, this is how we do stuff."
Yeah,
like when you fight me, I break your arm. Like I'm not sure he would have stopped if dude did tap.
Yeah, you see, it wasn't even like he was saying, "Oh, he should have tapped." That wasn't even on the table.
No. He was like, "No, your arm's gonna get broken."
Yeah, that's it.
I break arms.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude. Yeah, I don't like Frank Mir.
Fucking bone collector.
The bone crusher.
There you go.
Bone crusher. What a jerk.
Man. Yeah. That's him.
So you like this dude Chago or Chino?
Oh,
Chago's a restaurant, but
Chael. I mean, I like his style, man.
Yeah.
When he's on that stuff, man. I just really didn't like the press conferences and stuff with Anderson, but he's actually a pretty insightful dude when it comes to the hurt business, so to speak.
Okay.
Fighting. He actually knows a lot about Mayweather. I guess he used to be a security guard for Mayweather.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. Mayweather needs to get Frank Mir. Frank Mir plays no games.
Get Frank.
He should fire this other dude and get Big Frank.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So don't listen to that other podcast. Definitely listen to us because we're going to be all over the map with stuff. You're like that's. I guess that's kind of like our first insight into how we are different. Like you're all into MMA. I could care less about that stuff.
There you go.
Kind of like ventured away from sports in general.
Yeah.
Like over time, like I don't know what happened. Like we used to be super into basketball when we were young. Grew up like playing basketball, sneaking into places to play basketball, getting kicked out of places for playing basketball. That happened. And now I could care less about sports.
Yeah. I mean, you ride, you cycle though.
I do cycle. Cycling is a sport, so
I mean, it's a highbrow sport, shall we say?
Wow, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Jeez, what happened?
It is a highbrow sport, right?
Touche.
I mean,
touche.
You have the Tour de France.
We
do.
I
mean,
La Vuelta's going on right now. De España.
I mean, you got to look at the sponsors.
Well, yeah, that's true too. You're right. True story. It's not Nike.
Yeah. Like for instance. I'm a public safety officer. I won't say where though.
Yeah, don't say that.
That's my day job, amongst other things. That's funny because what you said earlier about like you struggle to find the word.
Yeah.
It's like when people ask me what I do, I'm like, damn, what do I say? Like I don't even know.
Yeah, again, because when I think about it, like all that goes into it is like, okay, you've been to like Argentina or Costa Rica and Africa and who knows where, like London, France, but you like grew up in South LA. Like what other kid from South LA do you know is as well traveled as you?
Not a lot.
Only other person I can think of, maybe it's a Nigerian thing.
Probably
is Akbar.
Probably. Yeah. Hey, yeah, right.
And that was later in life for him. Like that's happening now. But maybe it's the thing. Like Nigerians will travel.
Nigerians definitely will.
Because I'm not Nigerian.
They definitely.
And like before I got married, I think the furthest I had gone was like San Diego. Yeah. Huh. Well, Arizona the one time. That was basketball though.
Yeah, that was hoops. Hoops took you there, man.
There you go. Hoop dreams. Got me to Chandler, Arizona.
There you go.
Do not ever visit that place again.
Do not ever go back to.
And if Akbar ever hears this, he needs to remember his story and come on and tell that story about Chandler, Arizona.
Yeah, we do need to get Akbar on here, man.
He'll take over our show. I don't want Akbar.
Yeah.
He needs to call in and just tell that story, and so I can hang up.
Put him on a 20-minute timer.
Not even that long. That story can be told in 10 minutes or less. Right.
Oh, that's a good story.
Yeah, that is a great story.
Yeah. The whole AAU career is.
Yeah,
it's a good.
It shaped me in kind of in a way that I needed to. Like it taught me like, perseverance to kind of keep after it, and it was like the first time in life when I guess people were telling me stuff I didn't want to hear. Yeah, I think that shapes you in a way. It's like it wasn't sugar-coated.
Yeah.
And I don't know that coaches do that today, but for sure the coach we had did not sugarcoat anything.
Our coach was serious. He was quick to let you know that this was a dictatorship.
There you go.
And not a democracy.
There you go. You're on the island of Tiny. That's where you are.
You're on that island, boy.
It's not a democracy, it's a dictatorship. And parents bought into it. That was the crazy thing. Mm-hmm. Like, parents would watch their kids get chewed out by him and be okay and be like, yeah, get them. I'm like, what kind of sinister hazing is this? Like, Mom, you're supposed to be helping me out. Not at all. Not at all. Nope. Get them. Tell them. Tell them.
Parents cheering the coach on and in practice.
Yeah, in practice. That's the thing. Parents are like, what parents go to their child's practice for a travel team? They were at the practice like, get in him.
Man, that was a wonderful thing, man.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like, you see how that time in your life or just that whole experience, that whole organization helped mold you as a kid. I think, today, we have these 18 to whatever 24-year-olds or whatever, however old it goes to, but these millennials. Ooh. I hate to go there because
that's pretty early on.
I do empathize with the millennials.
Oh. Well, you do have millennial tendencies. See, I wonder if that's a thing. But you do have some tendencies for millennials stuff.
That's why, though. That's why I empathize, because I get it in a lot of ways. But they're missing some things. From like these type of experiences. Like when you play sports, it can't be a what's the one? It's you can't clap or something like. There's a no cheer league.
Wait. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That can't be a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't cheer.
There's a no cheer league.
So what happens if I do something that's awesome?
Then you just got to go to the other side of the court or field.
What is the point of doing anything great then if no one can celebrate it? That's
you don't want to hurt Tommy's feelings.
I do, and that's why I dunked on his ass. I wanted to hurt his feelings. And if you get out here, I'll hurt yours too. Dude, people cheered all the time. That time you caught that tip jam on that dude, everybody went crazy.
That was wonderful.
The time we watch Barron throw the lob to Juice.
Oh man.
And he dunked on JR.
Man, these moments.
Hey, that went crazy.
He was talking trash to our coach.
That happened. That happened.
What if you didn't have that moment? That was
an
epic moment.
That was epic. I remember that.
50 talking about that.
True story. I remember I came home after the game and called you. This is before cell phones, you guys. I called you and I was like, yo,
landline
where was you at today? And you was like playing somewhere across town. And I was like, yo, you missed it, man. Let me lay this out for you. It was bananas. I was like, this is bad. This was bad. Yeah, that's etched in my mind.
That was the best, man.
That was crazy. And so they have no cheer. You cannot cheer.
No cheer. I think you need to tell the people that story.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm not good at changing the names. I'll try to change it. I already put the names out there. It was Baron Davis, who you guys should probably know. Juice. I don't even know Juice's real name.
Toronto Witherspoon.
That dude, Toronto Witherspoon.
That's a hell of a name, right?
Hey, that is an awesome name. And this dude could jump out the gym. Like he was, flying through the air type jump. Always off strides, never off 2 feet.
Yeah, like Ray Allen, like early Ray Allen.
There you go.
Jesus Shuttlesworth, Ray Allen, always off the stride.
Always off the stride. So we're playing, and Tiny is the coach, and you have the coach's son.
You got Doc Rivers and
Austin Rivers. So that's what it is. So you got Doc Rivers is coaching, right? Austin Rivers is out there. So here's what happens, right? So they throw the ball long, and it's about to go out of the baseline, like under the basket. It's about to go out of bounds. Baron Davis, who was awesome for a long time, saved it from going out of bounds and kind of threw it behind his back in a way that was a lob, like towards the rim. So he's not looking at the rim. He's running out of bounds, about to fall out of bounds and run into the padded stuff because it's like a high school gym. He throws it behind his back. It goes to a lob to the front of the rim. Toronto Witherspoon, a.k.a. Juice, comes out of nowhere, is flying through the air. At that moment, Austin Rivers thought it would be a good idea to try to jump and steal that ball out of the air. It was not a good idea.
No.
Juice caught it with one hand, flying through the air by his foot. Came through, wham! Yam that thing. Crowd goes crazy. This is before cell phones, so it's not on YouTube. Crowd goes crazy. They pause the game for a little bit because it got out of control. Stands going wild, people walking on the thing. Barron's laughing because he thinks it's all a game and it's funny to him. Austin Rivers is not happy. Doc Rivers is even more pissed.
Doc Rivers is pissed.
Backstory, Juice used to play for Doc Rivers. He's not on Doc Rivers' team today. He just dunked on Austin Rivers. Then he went by to tell Doc Rivers, like, hey, we not cool? We are not cool? Like, yeah, I just did this to your son. I know I left your team. And that's one thing. Doc Rivers did not like if you left his team. If you played for him, you played for him for life. Like today, if I wanted to join the league, I probably got to ask him if I could play. And this is more than 20 years ago.
Send him a message on Facebook.
Hey, is it cool? He did that, and he wouldn't talk to him. Man. That made Doc Rivers even more pissed. And that was just all bad. And I was like, this is crazy. This is bananas. I've never seen anything like that. Had to come home to tell you.
Man.
Yeah. It was all Barron's fault.
Yeah. With the exquisite lob.
Yeah.
The save.
Lob, yeah. Lob. Why would he do that?
Oh, man. I still get a kick out of that story to this day. It's awesome.
It was amazing to see.
Because our coach, he was like the Black Bobby Knight.
Yeah, that is a great analogy. He really was.
Straight on.
Yeah.
So imagine some player left Bobby Knight's team. Ooh. You know how he already got his players, and this dude bounced, on him.
Yep. Because not everybody can play for a Bobby Knight.
Not everybody can.
He don't tell you just because you're great don't mean you can play for Bobby Knight.
Exactly.
True story. Yeah.
He would let you know that actually.
When you were going to list the players that were really good
in the city,
and
we were from LA, so imagine how many players he's talking about. This dude can't play for me.
This dude's ranked number 3 in the state. He couldn't play for me. Like this dude is ranked 3rd in the state. This dude is good. He can play for anybody he wants to. Can't play for me.
Yeah, you see,
and he meant it too.
He but it's probably true though.
He wouldn't have been able to play for him.
We sweat blood in those practices.
Yeah.
Like no matter who you were, there was no echelon. There was no
That's the thing.
No Iverson, we're talking about practice. No.
Practices were harder than games.
Yeah.
And the thing that's so bananas is that, dude, we were in there practicing with people who were, in the book of, top 10 in the state. Easy. They were in there, and they were getting done just like us. It was not because they were better. They were off in there in their own practice. No, we were all in the same practice.
No way. Yeah. You're right
I was not in the top 10. I was with the dude in the top 10, and he was getting yelled at just like I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Going
equal.
at it.
Yeah.
Man.
All things were equal there.
Those are great days.
When you're on the island of him, hey, that's what you're.
You're on that island.
That island of Doc, and you're on Doc's island. Hey, it's a dictatorship and not a democracy.
He'll let you know, man.
That was great. That was great times.
Yeah, you need those. You need those moments. You need, somebody to challenge you.
And that's what millennials are missing. They don't have that person to tell them, hey, look, it's not going to go your way.
Yeah.
And you'll be okay though.
So, for instance, today, I had a student come in, and she received a bike ticket. She was riding on her bike the wrong way.
Oh.
I know, as a cyclist, it's funny because I've been riding. I've ridden with Stevon.
There you go.
Years now actually.
Wow, that was a couple years ago, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stevon's really into cycling.
I love it.
He's got 2 custom bikes.
One, and another bike, but I need to get another. I'm in the process of looking at.
Oh, the one that's in manufacturing right now. Oh, okay.
Hey, I got some workups, some drawings about what it's going to look like. I designed it. Now it's about paying the money to get it done.
It's in prototype phase.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. All right. So
you can't do nothing, man.
Stevon's really into this stuff.
Love it.
Into the cycling.
Love it.
He got me into cycling.
Boom.
And now. Man, it's a pet peeve for me when I see somebody riding on the wrong side of the road riding on the sidewalk.
That's legal too.
Only if it's if you're for your safety you hopped up, okay, I get it. But not just riding on the sidewalk, dude.
Right.
You're a moving vehicle. You need to be on the road in the proper way.
Yep.
Well, this young lady got caught by the bike cops riding the wrong way.
Got him, coach.
And she got a ticket. She came to our office.
She was not happy about that ticket, huh?
She was not happy.
I know. Nobody wants to get a ticket on a bike.
She was in tears.
Oh, burn. Oh, she was less than happy.
Oh, yeah. And she couldn't tell the difference between LAPD and my department.
Yeah.
And she brought the ticket to us like we could do something. And she was crying, man. And she was like, it's not fair. And other people were doing it. And it's
that's not an excuse.
You don't understand in this world that, that it doesn't matter. Other people are doing it. You got caught.
There you go. You go.
That you can only arrest, because that's what it's called when you're stopped. You're actually you're arrested.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Is that, you can only do so many at a time. What are they going to do? Like,
right.
Just you come over here and get in line. I'll get to you when
you catch me further down the road, buddy. I'm about to put this thing in overdrive. Watch what I do.
Roll out.
Well, they're going to catch me. I'm like the only 6'2", 6'3", 240-pound black cyclist.
Rolling too.
Yeah. In North America. I want to put that out there. In North America, probably.
They'd stop you just because of your bike.
Well, my bike's pretty awesome.
I'm just saying.
Oh, to just talk about it because they want to.
No, you can't. Just like you can't be a black man riding a nice car.
Oh, I can't ride a nice bike. Hey, probably.
Is it the same rule?
Nah. When I'm on my bike, they don't mess with me. Yeah. Right. Plus, like you said, it being a highbrow sport, I'm doing air quotes here.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I'm not always riding with other African American descendant people. Mm-hmm. So there's some protection when you're with the complexion, kind of deal.
You gotta have those friends.
Everybody needs some.
You gotta mix it up, man. I've always been an advocate of mixing it up. And that's one of the benefits.
True story. Is that if something bad happens, they will take care of it for you.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I've seen them curse people out. And I was like, oh, I just stood there. And it was like something was done to me, and they went ham.
There you go.
Ham on somebody.
Won't be me, though.
No, I would have got shot or something worse, probably.
Yeah. No,
I don't know what's worse than shot.
Pardon the slight interruption. We're working this thing out, figuring out how the technology works. But we're back on the scene, making that happen. So we were talking about millennials, and somehow we got on cycling and how Beth was upset she got a ticket and didn't know who to pay or not. But you said earlier that you identify, Deji, with millennials, and I think the people need to understand kind of more about that because, again, this will provide some insight on our differences of how we experience and see the world differently, but can still be tied or connected strongly.
Okay. So people who don't like millennials.
There you go. All of society. That's not cool. I like millennials. I work with them on the daily.
People don't like them because this is the perceived reason.
Entitled.
They have this sense of entitlement. They're spoiled, and they don't know what it takes to get what they want. Whether that be in a professional pursuit, mm-hmm. whether that be when you're riding a bike and you get a ticket, you don't realize that there are rules that you need to follow.
Yeah, ignorance of the law.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Or whether it's dating or really anything. They think things should be handed to them, and it's not the truth. Well,
you don't identify with that. So
I do not identify with that.
Now they're never going to be like, oh, well, Deji just thinks he should have everything, and everything should be given to him. And that's totally not ever been your experience in life.
No, definitely not. Definitely not my experience. I've literally had to work for everything. Although I do come from somewhat of a similar place. So the reason why I think millennials want these things, and then I'll get to the place of why I identify with this. I think millennials they feel this way because this is how they see the world. This is how the world was presented to them. I'd scoff at baby boomers in particular who fault millennials because baby boomers are their parents.
Oh, burn.
And they are the exact people who have painted this world the way that millennials see it. They've sheltered them. They've given them everything they've wanted. They've protected their feelings all the way up until college, and then they expect a balanced adult to go out into the world, and that's not true. All the while, one baby boomer may accept this entitled whining from their kid, but as soon as it's someone else's kid, it's a problem. I've heard stories of people hiring people fresh out of college and asking them what are your salary requirements, and this person told this business owner, oh, $70K.
To do what exactly?
Right. See,
like if they aren't an accountant or some type of engineer or they know how to code, how can you request that and you have zero experience?
And this person was going to be an office manager, or not even really an office manager. It wasn't that big of a staff. She was just going to be a secretary
in an entry level position.
Entry level.
$70K.
But see, the thing is that who set that bar? Who gave her? I'm giving a little bit of away.
Yeah.
But who gave her this perspective? And the reason why I connect with this thing is that I grew up in a home where expectations were high.
Very high.
Expectations were high. I was driven by my parents. I'm not saying driven like I had this work ethic, which I did. I'm saying driven like I was driven by my parents to succeed and command a certain level of success. That being said, I connect with that perspective. These millennials that we're talking about, for the most part, are coming from very successful parents.
True story.
And they're expected to have the same success. All the while, they're not communicating to the kid when the times in their life when they maybe could barely put food on the table. They're coming from the perspective of, the thing that they've been doing for the last 20, 25 years or whatever it is, the success that they've seen in life. And they forget about the times that they struggle. And they say, oh, well, I was, doing this. I got out of school and, pretty much jumps over their troubled years and goes straight into, I'm the VP of, this and that. And of course you're going to think you need $70K right off the bat because that's where you come from. You drive an Audi that your parents bought or BMW or whatever it is, and you swipe daddy's card and you think, okay, that's what I'm supposed to be. That's where I start off. And it's not true. You're given this false perspective. And I think that a lot of times, all the while that my parents gave me their real life experience from time to time, but the expectation was always there. The expectation that I was going to come out of school and it was going to be $100K, right away. That sentiment was there, and I can side with that with the place that you weren't told exactly how to handle a dollar, even though you may learn on your own. There's just things I had to learn on my own because my dad was not giving me a card to swipe. That's for sure.
Whoa! That'll be another episode of all the things you could have had but was never gonna get because you're gonna have to work for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so
hard.
So all the while I embrace hard work. I also understand that that there's a little bit of disconnect here as far as the expectations for the millennials and what the tools that they were given.
That's interesting you say that because like I'm sort of kind of writhing over here like as you're talking about this and you're like, oh, $70K, and I was like, dude, I had to get a master's degree. I have student loan debt before I could make $70K. Like, dude, get out of here. Like, what are you talking about? You're running an office. Like, I had to get advanced education and degrees. But no, like part of it is that in the work I do, part of what I do is being at a university and director of counseling services there. I'm part of an organization that kind of encompasses all of the directors of the counseling centers at all the colleges in California, right? And we have conferences and stuff. And the one thing we see, and this is I think you kind of hitting it on the head, is the disservice that these guys that your baby boomers, parents that you don't like, did for their millennial children is not tell them about the what it took to get to where they are, like that missing piece of the story or that desire to prevent their children from having to struggle is what is making them struggle. It's like they wanted to get away from that, and they absolutely created that same problem. So you get students that are entering college that aren't equipped to handle the rigors of an academic, program, that they can't handle. They don't have the coping skills to deal with, negativity, to deal with obstacles impasses, they break down to a degree that we, would have been, we probably would have gotten in trouble for if we responded in the same manner. But for them, it's like there's this response of everyone of wanting to, like, how do we kind of bolster up? How do we kind of support? And I'm all for that because, therapy is about supporting people through. But also there's a part of me that says, well, the onus is on them to kind of get that stuff too, because at some point in life, you're going to have to try to figure out stuff on your own. And, we come from a place of where I don't know that I had all the answers when I was growing up. There's a lot I didn't know. And there's a lot I learned from the School of Hard Knocks, making mistakes and coming through that stuff. And then now I know, like, okay, well, I don't know not to do that anymore. Nobody kind of gave me this blueprint of how to do stuff. And I think for them, they're expecting the blueprint to be given. Like, well, if I don't know something, somebody should tell me. And I think that's kind of the fundamental, I guess, flaw that they kind of will go through life with. And that's the part that I have a tough time identifying with in that population. I mean, it's a culture. It's a culture thing.
It definitely is, especially being in America where the culture is, where the education culture is, we don't tell you, so later, this is the government anyway, we don't tell you, so later you can mess up and we can take advantage of you.
Whoa, that's deep.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
In business. I mean, just think of it. First day of school, you go to school, college. This is first day of college. You set foot on campus. What is it? There's a fair.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a procession.
Mm-hmm.
Right. First thing you run into, credit cards.
That used to happen. Yep.
You get the credit card thing popping off. You don't know anything about money.
No, I never had a credit card.
There you go.
I only went to parents to get money.
See?
Yeah.
See?
They gave me one. I messed that up. I screwed that up royally, not once, but several times. But I got the lesson now.
You got the lesson.
I definitely know how to handle credit cards now.
There you go.
Ask me about a credit card, see if I don't know how to do it. Exactly. I got it now.
Lou got it. His financial IQ is next level.
Because it wasn't next level.
It was. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere.
Debt. That's where I started.
But see, like that's the way that our society works. Is this tremendous lack of information about life skills, and then when you mess up, I have some type of punishment.
Right.
Whether it be a fine or you're in debt, now you have to pay me 20% more.
Right.
Even student loans.
Yeah.
It's if you don't know how to circumvent, now you owe.
Yeah. Or you're signing up, and like, are you clear about what you're agreeing to?
Yeah.
Like, you're signing up for somebody to give you money that you're going to have to pay back. And as an 18-year-old, you're entering into a contractual agreement, and I don't know that you have the wherewithal to do that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, like, not to kind of take this on a tangent, but like, as we're talking about it, it's making me think about, some of the mental health issues I see, kind of like the increase in anxiety and depression. And I think part of me believes that millennials know they're missing something, and that's what makes them kind of so, I guess, prone to being anxious or to having anxiety-related disorders, is the fact that, like, they don't have it, and then when faced with adversity, there isn't always someone there to help them kind of get through it, right? And so on some level, then that kind of makes me fearful. I'd be afraid, like, hey, there's something that's happening, and I don't know who's going to get me out of that. Because that's what happens when you get to college. They're like, oh, I'm just going to tell my parents, well, I can't talk to your parents, FERPA law. So you can tell them, but, unless you sign a release. And they're like, well, wait a second. It's like, yeah, you're an adult now, buddy. Deal with it.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy to see, even now that these students are in college that I deal with, their parents come in to take care of situations.
Yeah.
And for me, that would have never happened. My parents would not even know.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
It never would have happened. It didn't happen. Like, I'm thinking about when I was in all of my schooling. Like, I think my mom came out, went to Cal State Fullerton. I think she came out there maybe 3 times in 4 years.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
It's a visit. See ya.
Yeah.
You're doing good. I'm going home.
Right. Yeah, I'd figure out a lot of stuff on my own.
It's, you got to let them grow. You got to let them out there and into the world. I mean, granted, I don't have children, so I don't know the emotional, thing that's going on, but at the same time,
me either.
You let them go to college, so.
Right. Well, I'm gonna revert back to what worked for me. Hey, this is a dictatorship, not a democracy. Listen, kid, you get out there and make something of yourself.
You're gonna know. Yeah.
Although, you can do that while still being supportive. I think kind of setting up situations to allow them to feel a little bit of that tension, or the unknown, and sit in that for a second while, like, hey, look, if you don't figure it out, sure, I got you, but I'm not going to let you know every time that I got you ahead of time.
Right, of course. I'm reminded of Kevin Hart story.
There you go.
Where he's talking about when he first moved to Los Angeles and his mom stuck a few checks in his Bible.
Yep.
And he would call home and talk about whatever situation he had going on, couldn't pay the rent or something like this.
Yep.
She'd say, have you read your Bible? Have you read your Bible?
Yep.
And he'd always say, yeah, I read it, but he never actually opened it.
Right.
Until, however long down the road, and finally realized that there was checks in there.
Yep.
She had already looked out for him ahead of time.
Yep.
So
that was an awesome story.
It's a pretty good story.
Yeah. I wish I had some checks.
Nah, man, you got them checks, man. Don't let them fool you.
Relax. Don't everybody settle down. The government gets their cut first.
Yeah, that hand of Uncle Sam.
Oh, he's all up in there. All up in there. You can get his. Get his.
Uncle Sam with that hand, man.
Yeah.
Molested you, but sent you to college, huh?
Hey, well, you know what? Hey, nothing comes free.
It's true.
Yeah,
very true.
You have to pay the piper.
Hey, and that's another thing that these kids need to learn. Nothing comes free. You gotta pay the price. Bottom line.
Yeah, you gotta put the work in. And I think they don't know what the work is, and I wish there was a way to better explain to them or show them. I think for it to be experiential is beneficial, and that's something that they are missing. I think for you, you can't identify because maybe, you come from a family, again, your family's well-to-do, like not like the Warren Buffett or anything, but you didn't want for anything. You never had to worry about that kind of stuff. Your family was like super responsible in that sense, like your parents. And while that was the case, they also let you know that, hey, this is not the norm for everybody. This is a luxury. You got it, but also here's what it took to get that. And they were very clear about the stories they told you guys and the information they shared to let you know, like, yo, this was not a given. We worked hard to get this. And they were like, I'll be damned if I just hand it over to you guys. Like, you guys are going to have to earn it, kind of deal.
Absolutely. And that was the message.
In a nutshell, that was the message.
That was the message.
Loud and clear. You got that message.
I remember being 10 or 11 years old, and my sister, stepsister, who was maybe 3 years older than me, trying to set me up with some friend in her neighborhood, some girl in her neighborhood.
What?
To hang? Yeah, I don't know, man. She's a teenager.
Right.
So,
I forgot about that. Yeah, it makes zero sense. Like, why would she do that?
And she put me on the phone with this girl, and she told me to ask her to come over.
Hey, old game popping.
Right. Come hang out or something.
Where, at your house?
Yeah.
Heck no.
But see, I'm glad you said that.
Heck no. Are you serious? Yo, you wouldn't be here doing this podcast today if that happened, son. She wanted you to die. That's crazy.
She wanted you to die.
Hey, she didn't love you, man. Hey, see, I've always cared about you, Deji.
But you see how he said your house, right? So I asked her. My sister gave me the words to say because I was nowhere near being as smooth as I am today.
Hey,
this is progress.
Levels.
Yeah, levels to this. She told me to say, hey, do you want to come over to my house? And so I have this conversation, goes down, get off the phone. Later on that day, unbeknownst to me, my father, being a father, was listening to me, and he brought me down to his office, called me down to his office, and he said, "Who are you talking to on the phone?"
Oh, snap, son!
And, I didn't know that he even knew I was on the phone. My sister had called somebody, and who knows? I mean, she was always breaking rules. So I don't even know if we were even supposed to be on the phone. I think I was quite nervous. So we probably weren't even supposed to be
not supposed to be on the phone. If I remember the childhood right, yeah.
And he said, "Who are you talking to?" And I told him, it's my sister's friend, and she said I should ask her to come over. And that's how you say when you're scared. You're like, they wanted me to do this,
That's not what I wanted.
Because
they were telling me.
Because essentially you made the decision to do it. So I mean, it's on you now, right? But you're scared. Oh, she said to do this.
Minute Society, you fucked up, right? Get Bill Duke on him.
Well, Pops goes. He's like, what house?
There you go.
What house? And I was confused. I mean, I was like, what is he talking about? This is like, you said you asked her to come over, if she wanted to come over to your house. You don't have a house. This is not your house. Right?
Let him know.
And I was like, hey, you know what? It's funny because at the time I was like, man, this guy's so mean. What is he talking about? This isn't my house. Like, do I have to get out now? But the truth is that I didn't have a house. And he was quick to let you know that this is not your house. Like you have to work for your house. And that was the message. And
he earned that house.
Yeah, man, he earned it.
And you was not going to invite Keisha over to that mug and tear it all down.
Tear it down.
He wasn't going to have that. He was never going to have that.
Yeah, man, that was one of many lessons.
That's what we should do. All the stuff that happened between like 12 and 17.
There you go. Oh man. Some magic happened in there, man. That's
all kinds of stuff.
That's a few seminars.
Worth
of stuff.
No, this is fun, man. This is fun. I'm excited to kind of, continue this podcast and see kind of what other stuff comes out, because I never heard that story. I've known you for a very long time.
Yeah, some of this stuff.
A very long time. Like, dude, we're talking over 25 years.
Yeah.
I've known you, and that's the first time I had. Wow, I've heard that story. I'm learning stuff. All that. This is all to be fun.
Yeah.
How much other stuff? Yeah, we could just delve into Deji's childhood. I'm gonna turn this into a therapy session.
Right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. What's going on in his head?
Stevon loves to get in people's heads, man. I wish you guys could see it. Like not when he's getting in your head, but just to watch him do his thing, it's truly miraculous. It's a beautiful thing to see.
That's funny. Yeah. No, so I think this is a good place to end for us, and hopefully you guys get an idea of like what our personalities are like and kind of where this podcast will go. Again, nothing is absolute. I'm going to try, as we figure this thing out, I think we'll alternate between different styles and stuff. So, maybe the next one might be all Studious Lewis, the way of doing stuff, or we'll see. And, whichever one works best. I mean, it might be a mixture, and we'll find our groove at some point. I think the thing that's, can't be kind of crafted or anything is, our relationship. And I think that's just going to play out for sure. However, whatever we talk about, kind of deal.
There it is. I'll see you on the next episode, man. That was great.
Yep.
Hey, remember, nothing is absolute.